Special needs trust planning is part of estate planning. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. Let me explain why. It's for multiple generations, multiple branches of a family, and for different types of disabilities. What do I mean by multiple generations? When you're doing special needs planning, most families don't just have one family member at a generation level with disabilities. They have other family members in that generation. And many families I represent are 4-generational families now because people are living longer. I also have a lot of families where I have a great-grandma, grandma's gone, son, grandson. And somewhere in that chain we have a disabled person. So that's what I'm talking about for multiple generations. Multiple branches of a family. I'm not going to ask a show of hands, but family dynamics changed a bit lately. Over the last 2 or 3 generations, it's changed dramatically. We have divorce, we have remarriage, we have domestic partnerships, we have all kinds of things that we didn't have 30 years ago. And family dynamics have changed along with it. For different types of disabilities, the kinds of planning we do with some people are totally different than others. I have a client that will not do a special needs trust yet because he has a disabled child. But the disabilities on the whole scale are relatively minor. And the child is finished with school and going into the work world. And the problem is we have to make a decision, the family, not we, but the family has to make a decision on whether or not we're going to go for the benefit side and limit what they do work-wise, and will that hold them back from continuing their development? Or do we just say, the heck with the special needs, and we'll just treat them as if they have no developmental disabilities at all? Estate planning is always about figuring out what you own. But what I mean predicting the future is talk about predicting what's going to happen with your family. Where's the child going to live? How do you think your child's going to progress? How do you think and now it's always going to change. You determine your family status. Who's the most stable child to take care of your child? Or who's the best person? Geography, all of those things. And then you establish objectives for your family. That's why I said the process doesn't change, but this is unique for every family. When we're done all of that, we draft and execute the plan. And then we're only about halfway done. Because most people no longer have all of their assets going through an estate or a trust. They do it through beneficiary designations. And every plan that we do, 75% of them, people say our wills are up to date, but their beneficiary designations are not. They have a 401k or an IRA, and that's half their assets. And the beneficiaries are not out of date. That's part of the plan. And then here's the part that's always fun, the review and update. Nobody reviews and nobody updates. Okay? It's not true. About 10% of my clients review and update their plans on a regular basis. Why do most people update their plans? Because something happened. It's event-driven. Dad had a stroke. Mom had to go to surgery. We're traveling out of town. It's event-driven. And it's usually crisis-driven.